Rimbula on the south coast of New South Wales. And it's very clear that there are a couple of ways that the landscape has been valued, and we can identify them by asking the question, who's doing what? And one of them is that I got to this place through this boardwalk here. Somebody's built this. So the question, who's doing what, helps us to understand that. That somebody's built a boardwalk in order to manage the way that people are interacting with this landscape. And they're coming here because of some perceived value in walking under these paperbark trees and through these mangroves at the side of the lake, and also observing the wildlife that's here. But there's another thing that's going on here as well. You can see clearly behind me that there are oyster farms here. And that's a sign of the economic value of the landscape. And here's clear evidence that people are using the landscape for a different purpose. And in the far distance on the other side of the lake, you should be able to make out the windsock, which indicates there's in fact an airstrip just at the other side of this estuary, which is further evidence of how people are interacting with this landscape because of the economic value. The third question you've been asked about is about the indigenous value of the landscape and those spiritual and cultural connections. And although these aren't immediately present, we can infer them in a couple of ways, and one of them is because there's a naturally occurring source of food here. Wetlands are the most productive biomes. And so we can expect that productivity of this biome would have led to intense interaction with the landscape by Indigenous people, and that's a great starting point for asking the question, who are these peoples? It's very likely that there's more than one, because we've got a natural barrier here in this wetland. So it's likely that this would be a meeting place of different groups of people, in the same way it's a meeting place of different landscapes, the salt water and the seawater. That's unpacking abstract nouns and putting the participants back into the process.